Philippians 1 verse 3 on, I thank my God in all my remembrance of you, always in every prayer of mine for you all, making my prayer with joy because of your partnership in the gospel from the first day until now. And I'm sure of this, that he who began a good work in you will bring to completion in the day of Jesus Christ. Okay, it is right for me to feel this way about you all because I hold you in my heart, for you all partakers with me of grace, both in my imprisonment and the defense and confirmation of the gospel. This is Paul writing to the Philippians church how he remembered them with joy and pray for them with joy. And you know why? Because of them all partakers with Paul of the grace of God, both in Paul's imprisonment and in the defense and confirmation of the gospel. Now this is huge, because Paul is saying that he is very, very pleased and very, very encouraged and strengthened by the Philippians church because they stood with him, you know, in defending and confirming the gospel, and while he's also in chains. Okay, they were in Paul's imprisonment in chains. They stood with Paul. That is such an encouragement, you know, because a lot of churches, a lot of people would have shunned away from that because this apostle has been put into prison. But if you really are touched and moved by the grace of God, you stand with that pastor, okay? That apostle, in this case, is the super apostle, Paul, you know? And that's why Paul remembered them with joy, pray for them with joy. Why? The reason is the grace of God. So Paul brings out a really good point. If it were not for the grace of God, there's no way the Philippians church will partake with Paul in his imprisonment and also in his defense of and confirmation of the gospel. In other words, the church continued to stand with Paul, and even Paul was in prison. They stood with Paul, they prayed for Paul, and continued to spread the gospel. That is the true test of the grace of God in your lives. In other words, circumstances will not discourage you or knock you out, but you continue to persevere because of the grace of God inside us. Video 1.